What's the creepiest thing you've ever witnessed that nobody would believe?
We have a portrait of my grandmother in our living room. It's a painting, actually, commissioned when she was in her 40s. She's sitting in a chair, hands folded, looking directly at the artist. She died when I was 10, but I remember her well. Warm, funny, and stubborn. The painting has never moved. Until one day, it did. I was in high school, rushing to leave for a friend's house when I glanced at the portrait. My grandmother's hand, which was usually resting on the armrest, was pointing toward the fireplace. I blinked. It was back in its normal position. I told myself I was tired. That night, the fireplace sparked and caught the rug on fire. A small flame, but enough to worry us. We put it out quickly. No one was hurt. The next morning, I noticed the painting again. Now my grandmother's hand was pointing toward the front door. 2 days later, a storm knocked down a tree in our front yard. It fell directly across the doorway, smashing the frame. If anyone had been standing there, they would have been crushed. No one was home at the time. But then, I made a mistake. One morning, I saw the painting change again, my grandmother's hand pointing directly at my bedroom door. I was running late for school, and I convinced myself it was nothing. I ignored it. That afternoon, I got a call from my mom. My bedroom window had shattered during a storm, and glass had sprayed across my bed. If I had stayed home sick, I would have been seriously hurt. I sat on the floor of my ruined room, shaking. I had ignored her warning, and she had still tried to protect me. I never dismissed the painting again. I finally told my mom what I had seen. She went quiet for a long moment, then told me not to say things like that so casually, but her face had gone pale, and the way she avoided looking at the painting made it clear she was worried. Later, when she mentioned it to my dad, he got the same distant look in his eyes. He said my grandmother used to say strange things before something happened, then waved it off like he regretted saying it. The next morning, though, he stood staring at the portrait for a long time, and later told us that my grandmother had the sight. She used to warn people about things before they happened. She said she passed it on, but I never believed her. After that, I started paying attention. Every time the painting changed, something happened. A finger pointing to the stairs. That week, my brother slipped and sprained his ankle. A hand pointing toward the kitchen. A gas leak was discovered the next day. The last time the painting changed, my grandmother's face was smiling. Not her usual neutral expression, a full, warm smile. I didn't think much of it until a few weeks later when I found out my older sister was pregnant. Even she hadn't even known at the time. After I got married, I named my daughter after her, and I hung the portrait in her nursery. It hasn't moved since, but I still check it every morning. She couldn't stay, but she never stopped protecting us. I don't know if it's a ghost or just love. Maybe they're the same thing.